What's up,
Yo.
guys?
What up?
What's up, guest Ben Brown?
Yes, sir.
Episode 29 of the...
We're still heckin'. I mean, I've pretty much accepted that's our name at this point.
Yeah.
I don't really care because we've had a few people on, including a woman.
Yep.
So not dads. I think at this point we've solidified we can stick with this name. So I'm cool with it. You guys cool with it? Well, I said you guys. Hey, Ben, are you cool with it?
Yeah, I'm good with
I don't
it.
give
Ben's
shit
a dad
what he- I
now,
don't give a
though.
shit
Yeah.
what he thinks.
Yeah.
Ben's a dad,
I am
new
a
dad.
Yeah.
How old is your kid?
4.5 months. I don't know. When do you stop with like the halves and
I don't know, but
or
I used to make
weeks?
fun of
Yeah.
everybody who would only say their kids like up to like 2 or 3 years. It was like in months.
Yeah.
I'm like, these fucking assholes.
Yeah.
I fucking do it all the time
It's
now.
generally, I think that like the widely accepted is 2 years.
yeah.
Okay.
24
Yeah, because
months.
that's when the clothing stops as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like you buy 18 to 24 months, and then after that, it's like 2 teeth.
Yeah, I kind of stopped after a year because it's just like,
Yeah.
he's one.
He's almost 5 months. So.
He's almost 10. I
Yeah.
can stop saying like, yeah. No, so Colin, what have you been up to? I
78
know
months.
that
I
it's
actually,
like a car loan.
I actually follow a hilarious Twitter account called Los Feliz Daycare, and it's making fun of a daycare in Los Feliz, LA, which is like a really uppity, like white liberal area, I guess. And yeah, it doesn't smell good. Hold on.
We haven't
Yeah.
got into this yet.
Yes. But it's all like talking about their students. They're make fake students in this uppity white liberal preschool or
Yeah.
elementary school or something like that. But all of the kids on there, they only do by months. And,
Oh, like,
Of course.
and they go up to years. I'm assuming.
yeah, it's hilarious.
Nice.
Yeah.
Colin, what
so
the fuck did you bring us to drink?
This is, I will say I'm glad that this is the last podcast before my
Sober October.
my
Yeah.
fast from alcohol is over because I'm finishing off with this. It's been looking at me in the eye every week when I go there. It's called Moxie. I'm like showing it to the
Yeah.
camera that nobody's watching. It's called Moxie, and I don't know. It says distinctively different.
Let me tell you, I don't know if you guys got this, but it smells exactly it smells like Hall's cough drops.
I didn't get that.
Yeah, it smells like
I mean,
menthol.
it definitely smells like anise and menthol. I said it smelled like a cleaner of sorts. I'm gonna try it.
I'll go with it.
That's all you guys.
Not good.
It kind of tastes like more than one drink put together.
The aftertaste is terrible. The
You see, this makes me feel like it has root beer in it.
it definitely tastes like this is my official
Diagnosis.
It tastes like of the original elixir. It tastes like root beer crossed with Diet Cola with a little bit of that new grape that we drank last week.
Dude, don't even throw new grape
And
into this
then
mix.
with like an aftertaste that makes me feel like my mouth was numb, like I came from the dentist.
Again, this is what it is. It's root beer
With
mixed
holes in it?
with Diet Coke that somebody has dropped a holes in for a
Let it
couple
sit.
days.
I don't
Yeah.
know that I'll be able to finish it. This is gross.
I'll finish
Yeah.
it just 'cause I'm not a
I brought
fucking bitch.
plenty more. So
Yeah, so that's the next thing I wanted to get to. So Ben, you showed up with a fucking cooler,
hell
and
yeah. I come prepared.
originally I was like, this guy probably has smoked meats of all varieties. He made a platter,
Yeah.
but it's all colas. So
Yeah.
what? Go
Oh,
through
I-
some of these fucking flavors because you
Okay.
showed us some of them.
Let's
So what are
see.
you drinking right there? What's that
right
orange one?
here. This is peaches and cream.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
pretty.
That's
That's
good. It's good.
I won't hate on that one.
Yeah. And I got, I think, like a key lime pie.
Okay, we're still in the normal area.
You want to get weird?
I'm waiting on the fucking other orange one. Yeah, that
Buffalo
one.
wing sauce.
Buffalo,
Soda. Yeah.
Buffalo wing
so
sauce.
gross.
Yeah.
Who's that made by?
Lester's Fixins.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably just
What
like
is
a regular white guy
Yeah.
who decided that Lester's Fixins sounded.
Y'all get your fixins.
Bacon soda with chocolate.
Oh my god.
Yep.
That's-
More Lester's Fixins.
So where did you acquire these?
There's a soda shop on High Street.
Okay.
What is it? Rocket
Lester's
Fizz?
Fixins. It says intellectual property of and bottled by the Rocket Fizz soda pop and candy shops.
No
this
shit.
is like
So
like,
it's
this is like a
theirs, yeah.
sub brand.
Yeah.
Okay. Got
So-
it. I did not know. So yeah, I'm gonna Probably. I'll try one of
Yeah.
those.
You had another wild one in there too, right?
Oh, there's
The bacon one.
Yeah.
No, he got the bacon and chocolate.
bacon
Right?
Oh, I missed it.
chocolate,
He
said
And
that
then there's a banana one called Pirate Piss.
It literally looks like piss.
This is
really
made
does.
by Gross Gus's
It looks like
brewing company.
what's the word? A Corona.
It does. It's very
Or malt
Corona-esque.
liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a little,
Should say ice
like Mickey's.
on
This is gross. Like
I can drink it.
I remember going camping once as a kid in the Boy Scout like thing I was part of, and like our camp counselor or whatever pulled up this root, and he goes, "See, this is sassafras root," and he whittled off a couple chunks, and he's like, chew on that a little bit, and you could taste root beer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, and I can also taste dirt and wood, and that's like this. It literally
like
tastes
dirt
like
and
I'm
wood.
chewing on that root.
That's like potatoes. If you eat potatoes with any amount of the skin on, it tastes a little dirty, but I fucking
Little
love
earthy.
it.
I was about to be
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, do
No.
you hate that?
Fuck no. Like when my wife eats baked potatoes, she just eats all the good shit out of the middle, and I'm like, "You gonna eat that skin? I will fuck that skin up. I'll just sit there."
When I make mashed potatoes, I use red skin potatoes, and I don't peel them at all. I just throw them in there.
Well, that's what I did. She asked for just potatoes. Okay, we're just gonna transition right into what the fuck we got into this week, right?
All right.
Can we, like, I want to know like who you
Oh.
are.
I was gonna go back to
we'll
it.
get there.
okay,
We'll get
okay,
there.
okay.
You said I
Yeah.
want to know who you are.
Just a dude.
Yeah, just a dude.
Just a dude.
I'm going with my story first, and then we're gonna go into Ben.
It's fine.
Okay. I was sick for over a week. My daughter was sick for over a week. My wife's been sick for over a week. Hayden had it 2 days. I don't really know how that happened, but I think he might have been patient zero. So, so in my sickness and my wife's sickness, we're fucking just craving carbs. Like that's all we wanted. We're starch and carbs. It was either going to be like, pizza, fries.
House and Chipotle burritos.
Yeah.
Oh God. She goes, I want potatoes and tortillas. I was like, wait, what?
Is she pregnant?
No, she's just Mexican. So she goes, zero fucking direction. I want potatoes and I said, really? What do I do? She's like, just, fried potatoes and like tortillas. I was like, what do you do with tortillas? You put them in it? She's like, no, you use them to pick up the potatoes. I'm like, damn.
Whoa.
So you want to use the tortilla as a fork and then just eat the fork. That's it. Okay, cool. No big deal. Go to the store. I get red skin potatoes. I come home. I wash them real good, right? But I don't peel them, cut them up into chunks. I'm soaking them for a little bit, get some of the starch out. And she goes, what are you doing? And I was like, I was about to roast these fucking potatoes. She's like, roast? I said fried. I'm like, I don't fry anything. What do you want me to do? She's like, I want you to cut them like in discs. I'm like, you mean how the potatoes come?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. But this is the thing is she gave me zero direction. Just expected me to
She
know.
wanted you to read her mind?
She wanted potato chips and tortilla chips.
No,
Is that
what
you're
she
getting at?
wanted, no, she just wanted greasy Mexican sliver potatoes. And so she took over, which is good because I fucking damn near cut my finger off. This little mark on my nail.
Mm-hmm.
I was going at it with the fucking butcher knife and she's, talking about how I'm doing the potatoes wrong that she gave me no direction on. My daughter is scooting around and snotting on everything. And I was like, oh my God, I'm just cutting away. And all of a sudden I was like, ah! Can I help you? I was just trying to get everybody out, but it hit the nail and didn't make me bleed. So I did all that just to fucking talk about potatoes, I think.
Yeah. So was it just potatoes?
Literally.
No cheese,
No,
nothing?
she
Mexican
seasoned it.
Seasoning?
We cut them real thin. And by the way, she also yelled at me for getting out a big knife. And then she goes, it's because you're using that big knife. That's what she blamed me, almost cutting myself on. I said, what the fuck? It's a chopping knife. How are you going to cut little slivers with a knife that doesn't even have a blade long enough to go through the whole potato?
Yeah, those are paring knives.
She got the smallest paring knife we had and goes, and after she got through one, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? It's going to take you a year to do one potato. And she's like, well, this is the knife I use. I didn't have a bunch of knives growing up. And I was like, well, you fucking got them now. At least use one that's as big as the potato. So, yeah, she did that.
I still argue the fact that she asked for thinly sliced fried potatoes. She wanted potato chips.
I know.
Yeah.
But she wanted them real greasy and seasoned. And then she put the tortilla in there and she was picking them up. Well, what I did was I took her little plan, right? I roasted some potatoes with rosemary and thyme and a few other things, threw them in the oven, kept a few out. I used her pan and I like pretty much fried the chunks of potatoes similar to how she did. And then I took them, put them in tortillas, put some Baja sauce on it from Taco Bell.
Nice.
And a little fucking fire sauce because I have both of those at the house.
Of course.
Not in packets either. Like I just have
What's
them.
Baja sauce?
It comes on the cheesy gordita crunch.
Oh shit, that stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they sell that at the store. So I picked up that,
It's
picked
like
up fire
Thousand Island
sauce.
dressing with cumin in
It's
it.
something
Yep.
weird.
It's like Big
yeah.
Mac sauce with cumin in it.
No, because I
Their
got
special
I,
sauce.
I got the one called Big Mac sauce too. It literally says it's a Kroger brand and it says if you like sauces such as the one that comes on the Big Mac and it has a little trademark symbol by it. So I got both of those, but I put the taco I got the tortilla shell, put some potatoes, Baja sauce, fire sauce, ate that and I was like, holy shit. Like that was better than my roasted potatoes that I fucking made and only ate 5 of. So that's it. I've been sick as fuck. You tried to get out of this podcast in a way.
I did not.
You kind of, you like implied, you said, hey man, we podding? Because, you know, I've been sick and my voice is going to sound weird. I was like, oh, fuck that. We are podding. Like, fuck no.
There was not a one lick of trying to get out of it. This was the most convenient night for me to do it anyway.
Oh, good.
Don't project on me.
Dude, I'm telling you, I felt like, I was like, well, if this motherfucker, if he says he's not podding today, we're going to have words. But let's go to our guest, Ben.
Hey.
Ben Brown.
What's up?
I have talked about him several times.
Yeah.
Whether it be smoking meats, or fucking turning lawnmowers into remote control cars
Yeah.
that you can sit there and do, or like making a remote thermometer to smoke your meats, or literally, I actually have a fucking question about that remote control car thing.
Let's go.
Why did you make your own battery? Could you not just buy a battery? That was the most batteries I've ever seen put together.
I could have, but where's the fun in that?
I don't know.
See, I learned how to build a battery, like, in that project.
See, you're the type of guy, like, I definitely want to know.
Yeah.
Because, like, if the apocalypse shit happens, like, I'm going to be like, Ben, look, I really need to charge my phone.
Yeah.
Can you make me a battery?
I could, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Like,
but when
I fill my brain with useless knowledge.
When I saw how many fucking batteries were, how many batteries was that?
40.
So you took 40, what, AA, AAA?
No, those are lithium ion cells, so they're like 3,000 milliamp hours each. So they're like what they use in the vape pens. So those little cells.
And one more time, tell me, how many was it?
40.
So 40. And hypothetically, if they were $1 a piece.
They weren't.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
I'm sure they weren't. Yeah. But if they were $1 a piece, you're still looking at a $40+ battery.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that you couldn't buy a battery for $40 for that thing?
No, not to run those wheelchair motors.
But also, what's the fun in that?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. So, all right, fuck.
Yeah.
I might just have more questions than I thought I had about this thing. It had wheelchair motors?
Yeah, that's what I used to, I guess, propel.
Okay. Fucking A. Yeah.
So I needed a certain amperage out of the battery to run those motors and the motor controller. And, you know, when you have big motors like that, it puts a big amp draw.
Are you a mechanical engineer?
No, I probably should have been, but I don't know.
I think you were one of the first people that I knew, like that I personally knew, that did anything with any kind of 3D printing.
Yeah, I was on 3D printing pretty early.
Yeah, and when I saw him, like, hold the fuck on, he is
2009. Yeah.
Yeah, you were definitely, and I think you got James into it, right?
Yeah. I got James into it, and I don't know. We just print dumb stuff. Sometimes it's useful, like
dildos.
Yeah. Oh, so like
he's like, that reminds me.
That reminds me. You say dildos. So back when I first started with that first printer I had,
can't wait to hear where this goes.
There was a website you could, put your printer online to. People could send you designs and you print them and you ship them out to them and you make money. So the theory is you make money while your printer is sitting idle. So I signed up for it and I printed some little doorknob or something or like cabinet knob for somebody. That was cool. That was the first order I got. The second order, it looked weird. Like the file type was weird. Like when I loaded it into the software, it was gigantic and I scaled it down and it was a dick. And I started asking the guy who sent it questions like, what is this? And he said it was a sex toy. And I'm like, I'm not printing your dick, dude. I'm not, and I don't know how he got it. Looked like a real dick, but I mean, all like 5 inches of it.
I'm just imagining it like starting like
exactly.
just slowly building,
and it's like this, and it's got a little curvature.
Yeah,
to
it did have a little curve, and man, I was like,
what? Gross.
Like
here I am joking. You're like, oh, actually,
no, for real.
That's hilarious. So does it just use like CAD files or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just 3D CAD files.
Fuck. Holy shit, Colin. Let's just get away from the dick story for a minute.
Yeah,
what did you do for?
By the way, that shirt is wild, man. Is it the surface of the moon?
It's literally just color. I don't. It's like hood tie dye. My wife hates this shirt. By the way, I put it on today, and she didn't say anything when I was leaving. But when I first showed it to her, she was like, and I was like, I'm fucking wearing this shirt. She's like, just maybe you can just wear it like, I don't know, not with me. And I was like, all right.
You're like, instead, I'm going to videotape it and put it on the internet.
Yeah, guess what? You know what? Because this shirt is very conflicted. It's like, it's got short sleeves, but it's got a hood.
Yeah.
I had a hoodie vest before.
I got a couple of these. This is what I need. This is the equivalent of like when you're too hot in the bed and you put one leg out. That's exactly what this is.
Temperature.
We're at a fucking weird temperature outside right now where like I have pants on. I don't want to have pants on. It's just that this did look really weird with shorts. Yeah, and I was like, it's even more of a conflicted outfit. So I put it on with pants, but it's doing a good job of regulating my temperature.
This is perfect weather for long sleeve metal shirts.
I don't have a lot.
Get on it.
My long sleeve metal shirts turn into schmediums.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
oh
man,
God, this is so gross.
When you get old, quit drinking it.
You're further in than I am.
because Jeff's like, I want to drink the whole thing, so I'm not a bitch.
I'm about to bong this fucking thing.
Chug.
Colin,
I feel like if I chug it, it's just gonna make my stomach hurt.
This week.
Oh, sorry.
I'm bringing us back.
Got stressed out, yelled at my kids.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is that just? Are you saying that like jokingly, like every week?
Well, this week was exceptionally just. It moved by very quickly, but then I also the tail end of the week caught what my kids had, and
so you were sick too.
And it's weird because generally I'm the one in the family that like I'll get briefly mildly sick if everybody's got it, but I'm the one that like holds it all together. And this time, like I left work early on Friday, and like I've got some stuff done this weekend, but I've not done a lot this weekend because I've just had like a splitting headache all weekend and couldn't breathe on Friday night, and so it was a stressful week capped off by getting sick and then like coming to a screeching halt.
Any good stories sticking out from the kids? Like, because I had a great week kid wise.
You did. I do have a story though that doesn't include my kids, but the saga of everything in my life that keeps breaking. So my fridge. I said got sparked and I had to get a new motherboard. Well, all of a sudden it was like the freezer was working fine, but the fridge was 55 degrees, something like that. So pulled it all apart and realized it was the evaporator fan motor. And I opened it up and the motor was just going, and like all of the evaporator coils were just covered in frost. So I had to take a blow dryer and do all that. And then thanks to Amazon Prime, man, I ordered the part, just $15 at like 7:30 p.m. last night, and I got it by like 1:30 today.
Isn't that amazing that they got it down to like 1 day shipping?
And so I pulled the whole fridge apart again, put that in, and came right up, just like started whirring. And when I left, it had already started cooling both, so I think we're good.
Oh, so you put it in today?
Yeah, I put it in today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because I am on the verge of losing a lot of, if not, I have already lost some of the stuff that was in my fridge just for last 24 hours or so being above 50. But there's a gallon of milk in there I'm not going to touch. But
I don't know why. An idea just popped in my head from you talking about that and an experience I had this week. And now I'm wondering if this exists. And if it doesn't, Ben, make this.
Yes. Okay. I'm on.
So you know how they have like the GFCI outlets, and or a lot of the ones that have like the trigger, the trip built directly into it. My sump pump is plugged into one. So when we lost power the other day, it seems like all my GFCI, is it GFCI or GCFI? It's GC.
GF.
It's GC, right?
It's ground fault. Something. isn't it?
I thought it was ground. I don't know.
Don't look at me.
Control fault indicator, right?
Yeah.
It's somewhere around there. I don't know if to see the wet outlet thing. All of those tripped. Like all my shit came back on. Everything was good, but all those tripped. I noticed all the ones on the outside of my house were, and the one in my kitchen was. Didn't think to check this out. It had power again, but I feel like by now we should have outlets and an app that just kind of lets you know, like, are all my outlets working fine? Did any trip? Because I never go in the basement. I just happened to walk down there today to fuck with that new camera, and I saw an orange light from all the way across the room, and I was like, oh, fuck, how long has that thing been off?
You got lucky if your sump was connected.
Yeah, and so I popped it, and it kicked right on and pumped all the water out, but I was like, wow. I really wish something would have fucking told me.
I'm sure that those like smart outlets and stuff you can get, I'm sure that
or just plug a smart device into that as well.
Yeah, but what would it, I guess, how would I derive that from just a smart device being offline?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when everything else comes back online, if that doesn't.
I get that's fine, but fuck, man, can we just get some smart outlets that also have that feature? I feel like that's a sweet little feature. I would appreciate that feature.
But you didn't investigate what tripped the...
We had a power outage.
Why'd that trip your breaker, though?
Dude, so my community, all underground, brand new power, but everything around me is very rural, and it's like everything's above ground. I've lost power at this place more times in 2.5 years than I have collectively in 5 years at the last house.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
You need a power wall.
The fucking giant
Tesla things?
The Tesla power. You can build your own with those same batteries I used.
I only listen. I'm gonna place an Amazon Prime order for roughly 1.3 million batteries.
I'm gonna make on eBay.
Oh my god. Are you getting a kickback for this?
No.
So in part 2 of my shit that won't stop breaking. So it wasn't my battery.
I was gonna ask about your Jeep.
It wasn't the battery.
It was the alternator, wasn't it?
Nope.
What the fuck?
It was the starter.
Really? Yeah.
And so...
Well, that makes sense because you tapped on it, right?
No, I tapped on the alternator.
Well, usually when the starters get corrosion in there, you can tap on them too.
Yeah, so I'm at work on Monday, and I was getting ready to leave. I jumped it that morning, still thinking that it was the battery or, still thinking it was something in the charging system. I jumped it that morning, and I was like, I think I probably have 2 good starts in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to leave work, and nothing again. And I had one of my coworkers come up, and it's gross, man.
I took a second just to look at the nutritional value because I said,
none.
Is it worth it?
It's not.
Is this 37 grams of carbs good? I'm not sure. Ugh. I was making sure it wasn't 2 servings. Sometimes they fuck with you. And it's like,
you ready for the buffalo?
Nothing could be worse than this. So yeah, let's fucking do that buffalo shit.
But
that's twisty.
So I get my coworker to come up and jump it, and it's not doing anything. And so I'm perplexed by this point. Like, well, the jumping has worked just fine.
Ben, no, it's not.
It's not.
No,
you're weak,
dude.
It's not.
It's not. See. Look,
you have an opener?
Yeah.
I tried twice. I even tried with the old shirt trick, and then I was like, man.
But I was like, well, I'll figure it out. And he drove off with his car, and I'm sitting there, and I have the key in there, and I just turn it one more time, and it doesn't do anything. And I look, and the battery indicator is fine. I was like, wait a minute, the battery is fine.
Twisty.
Are you waiting on me to take a swig? No. I was going to wait on your story and then swig it.
So I was like, the battery's fine. And then I furiously Googled, where's the starter on a Jeep Wrangler? And it's like underneath, like I had to climb underneath, and it's next to the transmission. And I had a wrench in the car, and I just tapped on it a couple times. I've had starter. It's not my first time down this road. And I tap on it a couple times, fires right up. So I haven't been able to afford to get a new starter because it's been a tight end of month. So I'm waiting to get paid next week. So are we gonna have to crawl under your Jeep? A couple times a day. Sometimes it'll start right up. Sometimes I got to get under there and tap on it.
I do have a good charging system story. So that car I drove is new to me. I bought it end of August, and it had a bunch of little lights in it burn out. Like the gear selector light was burnt out. So I'm like, all right, I'll go on Amazon and get some LED lights to replace all these things. And On the gauge cluster, the lights behind like the fuel gauge and I don't know what's above it. I don't even remember, but on that left side of the gauge cluster were burnt out. So driving at night, you don't know how much gas you got. And new car, you never want. I don't play your games where you run it down to empty until the light comes on.
I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, okay, good.
I quit like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So I have these LED bulbs, and one day I'm just like, oh, screw it. I'll pull the gauge cluster out, replace all those bulbs with the LEDs. They'll be brighter. It'll be awesome. So I do that one like on a Wednesday night. Thursday, I start the car too, make sure it all lights up right. And it does, but the battery and the charge indicator light comes on. I'm like, well, I replaced those lights too. I'm like, well, is there a problem with the charge system that I didn't know about because the bulb was burnt out? There were like 3 burnout bulbs that I pulled out. So next morning, start the car, get the kid loaded in. As soon as I put it in drive, it kind of stumbles. I'm like, oh, that's not good. Then I drive down my street and it's okay. Turn left onto the next street and it's just got nothing. I'm like, oh, great. It's just like missing and hesitating. And I get up to in Grove City, Stringtown Road, and I'm getting ready to turn left and it just shuts off. And I go to restart and there's nothing. And normally, if it was just me, it would be no big deal. But I had, my kid in the back, and that was the first time being in like one of those situations with the kid. And I just started panicking. Like, I didn't panic, but I was like, oh shit, what do I do? What do I do? Luckily, there was a dude walking. He came over. He's like, I got you, man. I got you. And he helped me push it into the Giant Eagle parking lot. And called my mother-in-law because that's where I take the kid right now. She came and got us, took us back to the house, grabbed jumper cables, jump it, and it's fine. I drive it around the parking lot and it's fine. But when I jumped it, I gave it some gas, right? And that battery light went out. And so I take it home. I test the alternator and I'm only seeing like 12 volts on it. I'm like, okay, well, it's probably 15 years old. Time to replace it. Take it to AutoZone. They test it before they'll give you a new one, and it passed all the tests. I'm like, still give me a new one. I've got it off, so take it back, put it on, start the car, still have the battery light, test it, only 12 volts. I'm like, well, hell, I'll take it to AutoZone and have them test the battery. So I drove it to AutoZone and we test it, and the battery's 5 years old. So the guy's like, you probably just need a new battery. Another $120 or whatever. Yeah. So how is it?
It doesn't taste like Buffalo Wing soda.
No?
It kind of almost tastes like orange soda.
Orange with a little wing on the side?
Let me try it.
No, it doesn't. I don't know it just kind of tastes like orange soda. I'm like, is this a fucking
there is a kick in there.
Yeah, it's like at the end.
Yeah.
But just kind of orange soda.
Yeah. Just orange with.
Yeah, I will say there's a little something there like after. I feel it. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So new alternator, new battery, and it's still, the charge light is still on the car. So I take it home. I'm like, well, I'll take the gauge, because that stupid light was still on. So I take the gauge cluster back out. Luckily, I didn't throw away all the bulbs. Put a stock bulb in the battery indicator light, and all the problems go away. The alternator's charging at 14 volts.
Good God.
After that. So what I came up with was, when you start the car, the computer does tests, and that's why everything lights up. And that's it going through its checks of all your systems. So it must have been looking for a certain voltage on that battery light circuit. And if it didn't see it, it didn't tell the alternator to charge the car.
That is the thing.
So when I revved it, it saw a load on there and it would charge the battery. But a load. Yeah. So different resistances.
It is weird.
LED
like
lights.
with our Honda Pilot, like if the check emission system comes on from just like leaving the gas cap not clicked enough, then all of a sudden it'll say like the all-wheel drive is malfunctioning. You know, like it's like things that are completely disconnected from each other, but it's just the computer is just thinking like, oh, well, this isn't working. That means that this isn't working, and that means that this isn't working. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
That was a lot of shit to go through to diagnose that.
It cost me, like $300 in total for a 30-cent LED bulb.
The funny thing is,
it was all self-inflicted too. Like I probably would have needed a new battery, but like
I used to have, just speaking of little LED bulbs, we used to have a Honda Odyssey, and the radio screen, just like the little strip that's got the radio station and then like the temperature and stuff like that, the lights went out in it. And I inquired about it. Those bulbs, there's two, $185 a piece.
Why?
Just LEDs. I don't know. But I told Sierra,
dude, Ben will make you some.
I
for
told
65.
We'll fix it.
Well, I don't have that car anymore. But I told Sierra, well, guess we're gonna have a dark screen.
Yeah,
yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
I bought this flashlight. Just shine it on there if you really need to see. This is actually a great fucking segue to a topic conversation I wanted to bring up today. I'm going to generalize the topic, and then I'm going to dive in and tell you why it's a good segue. Crackheads.
Can't wait for this one.
Yeah, so I saw something, and it reminded me of something a crackhead would do because, like it or not, crackheads are some of the fucking most, they have the most ingenuity out of any fucking people there are on the planet. Like, I remember growing up, and I'd go to the Speedway and try to pump up my tire, and I couldn't because the nozzle on the end of the hose was gone, and the guy was like, oh yeah, the crackheads steal it and smoke out of it. I'm like, oh my God. Like, who would have been like, out of all the things you can smoke crack out of, like, I gotta smoke crack out of the Speedway air hose nozzle. It's fucking crazy to me. But I was driving in the rain the other day, and I saw somebody with their fucking windshield wipers. They were broken, but they had a rope on both windshield wipers, and they're just they're just doing this, and windshield wipers were going back and forth, right? And so it's fucking smart. But I'm like, dude, that is some crackhead shit. Crackheads are so genius when it comes to this shit. I don't know why they don't get jobs. Like, we should be hiring crackheads.
Crack.
Yeah, but think about it. Like, we should be hiring crackheads to fucking like test things. Like, what is I don't know, you break it? Like, is there a part of this that you would want to steal to smoke out of? Like, they should be doing all this stuff so that we don't end up with these problems in real world. We could employ them. They could get their crack, and we'd have better products that are, there you go, that are more crackhead resistant. You know what I'm saying? Like, that could be a new thing that's on the front, like IP68 and shit.
Yeah.
It could be like
crackhead,
like CR12. Like, it's got crackhead resistancy, like level 12. Like, isn't that the fucking crazy shit? So when you were talking about your starter story, you're like, yeah, it's underneath and blah, blah. And I was like, what if there was a rope around your whole car with a little piece of metal right there, and you could just from the top be like, knock on it.
That would be awesome.
So that is how I got there. I saw the guy with the windshield wipers. I related that to your story.
Every single one acts different from the one previous to it.
You're good.
So I saw the guy with the windshield wipers. I related that to your story, thinking, damn, the same mechanism could actually work for your starter issue. And then it led me to think about crackheads. Yeah. Crackheads.
The funny thing is, I used to do, when I was driving the 64 Rambler as my daily driver for over a couple of years. And a lot of times, especially when it's cold out, it would get flooded really easy because it's carburetor system. And, to fix that, you got to hold the carburetor open while you're turning the key, which is hard to do when you're alone at a gas station.
Coat hanger.
So, no, I finally...
Get yourself a crackhead to hold it open. Yeah. That's where you're going with this, right?
Nope.
Merging the two stories?
Nope. I found that if I opened the door, my arms were just long enough. If I opened the door all the way, my arms were just long enough to reach the little opening on the carburetor
and reach in
and just long enough to turn the key. And I'm sure crazy. I look like such a moron because it's like freezing cold. So my hand out here is like really cold on these pieces of metal and the thing. And yeah.
So why didn't you just get like a fucking reach stick or something? Like those pincher things that short people use to get like cans down from real high? Those things. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, why didn't you
As
get
a
a
short
I don't
guy? I know what you're talking about.
Why didn't you get a reach stick?
I could have just put a fuel injection system in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
that shit.
Fuck carburetors.
Dude, those reach sticks are like $3 at Menards. I'm dead serious because I was walking through the other day and for no reason I was like, I want that. I was like, hey, do you want this? He was like, yeah. I was like, fuck, let's get this.
Yeah.
So we got one. We got a pinchy stick.
Oh my God, this is such a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Yeah, after
Good one.
the fucking other ones.
It's a peach one.
What is that one?
Nahi.
Oh,
peach.
yeah. I've actually heard of that.
Artificial. Oh, it's artificial flavor, not real. Well,
Of
course.
I'm just kidding.
I don't see any chunks of peach in it, so.
Oh, this is produced by Royal Crown RC.
Ah.
Oh. I like Royal Crown RC.
Remember the restaurant Rax?
Dude,
Yeah.
I talk about racks all the time. There's still one in Circleville.
Really?
Yeah, it's on 23.
I feel like I saw one a few years ago, like
Out east?
in Kentucky or something like that.
Oh.
And it was like literally like walking in. I went in there. It was like walking into 1987.
Yeah, it's they,
Yeah, they haven't.
Weird.
Changed
why
at
the
all.
fuck would they? Like at this point, they're a
Ponderosa.
novelty. Oh my god,
Yeah.
I like Ponderosa. At this point, they're a novelty, right? So why change? You're gonna get people that go there for the novelty's sake. They want to see that old decor. One thing I don't know is, do they still have the fucking salad bar?
I don't know.
Because that they used to have.
Rax?
Rax had a salad bar.
Really?
Yeah, they had a. I used to
they
fuck
did.
up that chocolate pudding. You know, like the vats of chocolate
Yeah.
pudding that are on all salad bars.
The
That was me.
skin on the top.
Yeah, you got to knock through
Yeah.
that and get the good the middle
Good
shit.
stuff on the bottom.
Get that middle shit.
It's like creme brulee. Now
You said
some stupid hipster needs to buy Rax and turn it into like a actual like nostalgia thing and make it cool.
Dude, we're fucking killing it with segues today because I got a nostalgia segue for us right here.
Alright.
Did you know they're bringing Toys R Us back?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
it hasn't been long enough.
They've
It's
already
been like
opened
3
two of them.
years.
You know how they used to have that mega one on Michigan Avenue in Chicago that was like 2 stories and had the fucking Ferris wheel and all that shit in it? I think that one's back open. There's 2 that are open. And they're called Toys R Us, I want to say Toys R Us Adventure.
So is it somebody who just bought the name and started a new thing?
The old CEO is somehow involved. He's he's the CEO or he's on the board or some shit of the new company that's doing it. But it's an entire
Seems
fucking
like a good
experience.
idea,
It's like
you
a
know?
super emergent experience where like it's like $20 for kids, $28 for adults. There's like
it's like a
it's a
thing.
whole fucking thing.
But the question is it a place where a kid can be a kid?
That's still the slogan going on. I saw some little pouches and shit like that actually said, I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. And another one that said where a kid can be a kid or some shit like that. So yeah, those are fucking happening again. I don't know if you guys had heard about that.
No.
Weird.
I don't think I would have tabbed the CEO of the failed
Also,
Toys R Us to lead.
if I'm not mistaken, that the whole Toys R Us closing thing was like really a shitty situation for the blue collar workers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where not only did they get fired or lose their jobs, obviously, but if I'm not mistaken, like the board of directors walked away with shit
Oh,
tons
yeah.
of money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So fuck them.
Yeah.
Well, that's happening in another. It's happening in another situation right now.
Kmart?
No,
No.
Oh, that WeWork.
that's it. That's the
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like co-working or something like
It's
that.
co-working spaces. There's a few. There's even 1 or 2 in Columbus.
But they don't have enough. They don't have enough fluidity or something to keep themselves afloat.
Yeah.
But the CEO just got like $1.7 billion. Or
Yeah,
something like that.
and all the employees are pretty pissed off about that. There's like internal chats where everybody's like, "What the fuck?" I like the whole co-working space because nowadays, like, that's kind of what we need. We need more spaces like that because nowadays you have so many people that are independent contractors or that are working from home or that are creatives or just doing whatever. Like, they don't have offices, so they could either work at home. But I can tell you firsthand that working from home, even in my job, is fucking hard because when you're working from home and your kids are there or anything like that, you're not getting shit done.
Nope.
Oh,
So-
yeah. I get about
Yeah.
30% of my productivity.
Yeah, so I can understand paying, and these memberships are like somewhere between, 180 and like up to 1,000, depending if you need private offices and shit. But I can understand spending $300. You work in an area that has a lobby, that has a greeting attendant. You have a professional address. That's a whole, the look is like part of business. Your whole like image.
Bathroom you don't have to clean.
Yeah.
Exactly. Bathroom you don't have to clean. It's kind of like this place, but I just don't think it gets cleaned, period.
Definitely doesn't.
Yeah.
Don't go in there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I also think, this is a theory. This is a theory of mine, but based on some articles and stuff I've read that, though I am very much certain that we'll have President Trump again in 2020. There's a lot of folks in the financial industry and in the business industry who are very, very scared of a President Warren or a President Bernie Sanders and the crackdown that's going to come down on this self-dealing. So I think that we're going to see a lot more of this shitty self-dealing over the next couple of years of people saying, well, strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah, there's a lot of businesses right now that are freaking out and kind of going into, what's recession mode, basically. They're recession-proofing their businesses and things like that.
Getting rid of the risky assets. And,
I've heard lots of companies are canceling job openings right now and just kind of holding off and seeing what shakes off, or shakes out, rather. Lots of that going on. What's not going on or not dying off is fucking YouTube, dude.
I saw that.
YouTube.
Let's get to it.
Yep.
Let's get to it. I finally did it. I allowed my kid to post his first video on YouTube, and this came after a fantastic open house, which I told the story of the open house, but it was great. And then they kind of they told me, well, at least one teacher, the teacher I talked to, told me that I could expect really good grades. His report card showed up, fantastic grades as always. The guy, like, I think a 4 is like the top awesome grade you can get. When he gets like a 3, he's bummed.
Yeah.
And that's still like a 2 is regular. I'm like, dude, like, 2 is like average. Yeah. 1 is like below average. 2 is like average. 3 is like, you're putting in extra. And then the 4 is like, you're fucking crushing it. You're advanced. Yeah. If he gets 3s, like, he's kind of bummed on that. Huh. And he got his first 2 a couple years ago and like fucking melted down.
Oh yeah.
Melted down. Yeah. He's perfectionist. But, so got a fantastic report card, all 3s and 4s. They said all fantastic things again. And so I looked at my wife and I'm like, I just want to I don't know what, but I want to do something that he like really wants to do. And I said, you know what? Let's actually do the video this weekend, dude. He's like, really? Like, he was so hype. So he was all ready. He went upstairs and counted his money and shit and was like, oh, I have $90. I can get a capture card. And I was like, I think the one you're talking about was probably the one I was looking at on Facebook Marketplace. Like, they're not 90, they're like 190.
What's a capture card?
So things like the Switch and things that are not PC based, they run off HDMI, right?
Oh,
so something is in between the console and the TV.
I got it.
Right.
Yep.
So he wants to play his Switch and do that too. Because right now we had it set up to where like he can play Fortnite and do it on my PC, and I have like a bionic Bluetooth controller and shit. So he could play Fortnite or any PC-based stuff, but he wants to do a Switch really bad. And I was like, you need a capture card. So Amy was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just get it. So we got the capture card for him as well. And I'm going to get all that shit set up probably like tomorrow. And he posted his fucking first video. And I remember like he comes down, he goes, I'm done. Can we edit it? And I was like, sure, let's go see what we're working with. And I'm like, this is fucking adorable.
Dude, you sent it to me and you sent it to me and I just like watched it. And I was like, well, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was like, man. And it was great because, like, what you couldn't see, like, off camera and stuff, he had, like, a little notebook that had his notes and shit. And, like, so he could, like, periodically, like, look over and, like, see what the fuck he's doing. You know? Like, where am I going next? And then he, during the video, it was, like, there was some editing. And I cut out some parts and shit because a couple things where, like, he died. And he'd be like, well, I guess you guys just watch me fail. Like, you know, he's so fucking ingrained in the whole like YouTube thing. And then at the end, he's like, I want to do an outro. I need music. And I was like, oh, fuck, music. Because music, I mean, you'll get flagged very quickly.
Yep.
Luckily, I had a fucking random beat laying around that I had made for a time-lapse zipline video from our zipline that we did some months ago. And I was like, oh, fuck, I'll cut a piece of that zipline beat out. Threw that on the end. And then I put a thing out on Facebook just asking, because I have a fuck ton of artist friends. I put a thing out there and was like, hey, anybody want to like help me out? Like, I want to get them a new like logo and shit. And a couple people reached out. So that's fucking cool. Like, everybody's down to help out the little homie.
You didn't ask beer money?
Yeah.
I put it out. I put it out on the web.
Oh, I didn't.
And you want to know who the fuck didn't respond was this guy.
I didn't see it.
You know, if I recall, Colin, I'm in a band still, and I asked you if you would do a logo for the band so that we could put out the 2 songs we recorded at the studio. And if I had to put a time frame on it, 2 months ago.
Oh, dude.
It's been a busy 2 months.
There's got to be a little bit more formality than that. Then, hey, I want to do a logo.
Is that not the dream, is to get complete creative freedom?
No. That's not what I mean. I mean, if somebody says to me, oh, you should do a logo for my band, I don't automatically assume that means I have the job.
So what I said was, hey, we need to get a little logo or some kind of image to put out these 2 songs. Would you be interested in that? You said, yeah.
Okay, then you just got to follow up with me.
I know.
I'm not good at that sort of thing.
All right, that's fine.
Give him a deadline.
This is why
he's probably like me.
This is why I have like project managers and other people who think of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
Well, I should have put a card on the Trello board and assigned it to you.
Oh, jeez.
I am all about this fucking thing. It's just a typical board to manage agile like projects. Mm-hmm. And I do this in my daily life through Jira.
Yeah.
And so Trello is owned by Atlassian or however
Oh,
you
they
pronounce
are?
it. Yeah. The same company that owns Jira bought these guys.
Jira is the worst.
They did an update about a month and a half ago. Fucking awesome. I love the update. They
does it like the visually doesn't look
visually
better?
It's all material look now. It's got that like
thank God.
like Manhattan style like no shadows type thing. Material design. I think it looks great. And a lot of the features that really annoyed me,
so ugly.
like bullshit things that used to annoy me, like subtasks on a card. You couldn't just drag and reorder them. They fixed all that. Like they really listened and they took some.
What are your thoughts on project management software?
I don't use it.
Man, you should. Everybody could benefit. You know what I thought about doing a YouTube video of just, here are 5 fucking things to improve your life. And it's all apps. Yeah. And I'm serious because like, if I had my phone, I would show this, but like even having an Android phone and having a widget that shows all my shit right there, like all my calendars combined into one widget and shows me what's coming up on the fucking home screen that I don't have to go into an app to see, that has improved my life tenfold.
When you go to meetings and you're taking notes, are you typing them in your computer?
I type them in my phone.
Well, so you're digitally taking down notes?
Mm-hmm. It depends. It depends on the meeting. So if it's a meeting where I'm a stakeholder and I'm wanting to understand, I typically type them in my phone because I have an app on my phone and they actually sync to my work computer. So they're there. So when I get back, I can formalize those in OneNote or put something together. If it's a meeting I'm leading, no, I come with meeting materials prepared. If it's a meeting that I'm a key participant in, meaning like I'm helping lead it or design, I always take paper.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
I was fully expecting you to be like, what's a pen?
Yeah.
Well, I do have a pen that when I write, it can tell what I'm writing and then I can upload those. Like every time you write I don't actually have that pen, I'm lying. But it exists.
Yeah.
I've synced it.
There's those notebooks too that have physical pens, but then you put them like in the microwave or something like that and it erases them.
Yeah.
You don't shake it like an Etch-a-Sketch?
No.
That'd be tight. You trip coming out of a meeting. Fuck
my notes.
Because I never take digital notes. I almost always just use a pen in one of my notebooks. And when I go to meetings, I try not to even bring my computer because I just know that I'll just end up working, because I have things to
Distracted. Yeah.
So I try to just come with a pen and notebook to meetings in general. But then again, I don't really prepare for things like you do.
So what do you? That's fucking true. What do you do when you take that notebook back to your desk? Do you like summarize it onto the computer, or what do you do?
No.
It's just on paper forever.
I just have a notebook. It's references.
Yeah.
Notes are for referencing. Like, so if I'm in the meeting and I'm taking down some notes on some changes I need to make to a design or something like that. When I'm doing it, then I have them right there on my desk as a reference. I can check them off.
You don't know, like.
That's how I am. Make a list.
Even when I take notes on paper, I always go back and digitize it and then get rid of the paper.
Yeah,
I like to open my notebook and page 1 is a clean sheet of paper.
Oh, like you would like tear it out, throw it away?
It's gone. I digitize it and I'm done.
Oh man, like maybe once every. Jesus.
What?
Oh, it's a school system robocalling me.
Uh,
This is a reminder of the parent involvement fair or the whatever the shit thing that they're doing this week. I don't give a fuck about.
They're extra trying to get you since you skip all the shit.
It's true. Hey, dude, I'm on kid 3, man. That shit is so. When they had like the elementary school open house. Oh, you mean the one that we've gone to for every kid for the last 10 years? No, peace. But anyway, no, I just like every 6 months or so get a new pack of like the brown moleskins, that are like this big.
Yeah.
3-pack of those, and I just fill them up and then throw them in my desk. So I have a bunch of full notebooks. But it's nice because I can just like reference. I can just go, oh, when was that? We had that first meeting, and
and you start flipping through it all crazy. Yeah, or you could just search. There's a fucking search, but you type in a keyword and it searches all the digitized notes and finds it in 30 seconds. But by all means, get paper cuts. Jesus, I don't understand people that don't want to make things easier.
This is why I brought this up, because I wanted to get you to this place because I'm just a really analog guy. A lot of times my notes have like a really rudimentary like wireframe sketch of something that I always I'll reference.
If only there was a way to view images on a computer. I swear to God, we would like really we could meet in the middle. If there was just some way that computers could possibly display images. God, you're like, yeah, sometimes I even have a wireframe sketch. I'm like, oh, wait, so you can't fucking create a wireframe on the computer?
Yeah, but that's one extra step.
But then it's digitized forever. Sorry, we're arguing. Let mom and dad argue. Yeah, let mom and dad argue.
But sorry, one more thing.
With that hand motion, with that hand movement, your mom.
Yeah, one more thing.
You've just
total
become
mom.
Is a lot of times, and like I said, it is nice to have them there for a reference. But I will say this, and this was the same when I was in school. I often don't even ever look at my notes again, but the act of writing them down,
that's what I was just
committing
about
them
to say.
to memory.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
I agree.
typing, you don't remember because you type everything anyway, but writing it down.
You were so mad, and now so you're like, yeah. Well,
I fully agree with that. When I physically write with a pen, I do remember a lot more. But I work in a field that we start design meetings a year before.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't remember why we made that decision. And I'm not going through paper. Like I'm going to my OneNote, I'm typing in a keyword, and then it will search all the shit and find me.
Does it do it like that?
Yeah, it makes that hand motion. They've created a special icon for my computer where it's hands that just do
it's
this.
Like it's actually like Minority Report.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Baller.
So exactly, I work in an innovation lab, and we have fancy equipment.
It is funny though, because you're not the first person to whine at me about this, because for a person who has made their living being a digital designer for the last 15 years, who has tried to be on the cusp of every new technology that comes out. Yeah.
And just user experience in general.
When it comes to me, for my needs, the user experience I need is a paper and pen.
Well, maybe that's because it's almost like you're so in like digital design and digital. I don't even know what to say. User interface is so part of your everyday life that it's almost like a detox for you.
Kinda.
I mean, that's how you went back to records too.
Yeah. And this Kemper, man, I really want one. Like, don't get me wrong. Yeah. That's a Kemper, right?
Yeah, it's a Kemper.
I've got that wrong once, and like it's a fucking Axe Effects.
Oh yeah.
And like people get so mad about that. Anyway, playing with your Kemper, it makes me want one, like for home recording purposes, like so I could like get some actual good guitar tones at home and stuff like that. But there's still a part of me that's like, I just love.
You don't need one. You don't need one to get good guitar tones at home. All you need is a company that makes some of the Kemper packs, STL tones. They have standalone VST plugins.
Yeah.
You need the Will Putney plugin.
Okay.
Go download it. It's like I think you can try it for like 30 days for free. Download it and tell me it's not the fucking best plugin on the market.
Sweet.
And there's the Parallax for bass, dual bass processing. You can run a low no high, the same way the same way people do it in the studio with 2 tracks. One is all gain and high, one is all low. So you get every note, all the articulation, but you get that dirty fucking fuzz over top of it. They have a plugin now that does both of those at once.
That's awesome.
Between those 2 plugins, like the game has fucking changed. I don't even need that technically.
Now, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The point I was getting at is that there is still magic to me of turning an amp on and waiting for it to warm up and hearing the and dialing in a thing and having to figure out how to get past feedback and how to use feedback in the right way. And, so I'm all about it, but I guess it is the detox idea is very interesting. That, I'm pumping this just nonstop data into my head all day. And I just need to like throw a fucking physical thing onto a platter that's got bumps on it that makes music.
This buffalo wing soda, it's actually good. And I'm strangely liking the heat that is, I'm now noticing it. Okay. Like it's there for sure.
You've gotten into it.
But it is just orange soda with.
Is it making you burp? That one made me burp.
I like how this one is Melba's Fixins. Yeah. And that one is what's Fixins?
That's Lester's.
Yeah. They must be a couple.
Melba?
Yeah.
Oh, mine's not that brand.
They're a fucking power couple. All right.
Anybody want this pirate piss? I
gotta be honest. I'm scared of that one.
It's banana.
I definitely want to try it.
I don't like bananas. Right. But like, crack it open.
I definitely want to try
it. So while you do that, I want to bring up some kid shit because every so often my kid will just get on something new. And it's like, I've never heard of this thing. And then I'll catch like one reference to it. And then before I know it, I'm hearing him say it. It's everywhere. And I'm just like, how the fuck do these things happen? Are your kids on these things called Bey Blades?
Like the spinning toys from a few years ago?
Yeah.
Is it back?
Is it?
Oh, apparently. First of all, I'd never fucking heard of it. Never heard of it.
And everything from the like late 80s, early 90s is making a comeback.
I did a little research on them. They were originally a Japanese toy made in 99.
Yep.
I did not see when they were brought to.
There was like cartoons and stuff. And
it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's banana.
Liquefied bananas.
Yep.
So I dropped him off to his grandparents, and we stopped at, what the fuck is that?
It's good.
We stopped at Walgreens.
His grandma is, sorry.
Disgusting?
No, it's weird.
Just not great.
Ew, the bubbles are yellow.
Oh, they are.
Anyway.
That looks very pissy.
It looks like pee.
Anyway, so I dropped him off at Walgreens to his grandma. We met at Walgreens. She always buys him something. And he's like, I want this. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I look at it and I'm like, oh, random spinny toy. It makes sense. It's at a Walgreens. Like that just looks like a fucking Walgreens toy. He comes home. He's still playing with it. I'm like, damn, he's really into this thing. Then he talks about like, oh, I went to so-and-so's house in the neighborhood. Yeah, we were doing Bey Blade battles. And I'm like, they have a Bey Blade too? He's like, oh yeah, everybody has them. I'm like, wait, what? I've never fucking heard of these things. He's like, yeah, there's like an arena and you put them in it and they have different things. And like this one has better attack and not as much like stamina or weight. And I'm like,
wow.
Yeah, I didn't know all this existed.
I remember a toy like that, like early 90s. They were like just little tops and you had just a little tiny square and you had a thing that you'd wind them up and then you like, just pulled a trigger and they spun. And
so it's similar.
Yeah.
It's just like that. So he comes home from that or his friend's house and like all the kids have them and they all bring theirs and they battle. And so like we went out today and I'm like, hey, do you want to stop and get ice cream? Or, we have ice cream at home, but do you want a milkshake? No. Okay. You want anything? You want me to stop and get candy or something? He's like, he never turns this shit down. He's like, no, you might think this is stupid, but I really want another Bey Blade. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I know they're only like $1. I'm like, first of all, they're $8. I just saw one at Best Buy where we were at. It was $7.99. But yeah, fuck it. Let's stop and get you a Bey Blade. So we stopped at Meijer and I did the normal, well, not that, I don't know. I did the thing that I like to do, which is I look and I find the one. I'm like, which one's the best one?
Yeah.
He's like, this one. I'm like, let's get that one. So like he runs home or as soon as we get home, he goes, can I go to, so-and-so's house to battle with Bey Blades?
Beat that ass.
Yeah. He's got 2 Bey Blades in this pocket. And this one came with a special fucking launcher that you wind up and it tells you what the like how much you've wound it. It tells you like the power, and then you click it onto it and set that fucker off. He had that sticking out of this pocket and two Bey Blades sticking out of this pocket. I was like, yeah, go for it. And then right before I came to the podcast, I called him home for dinner. We did hot dogs and stuff. I said, come home, have some hot dogs, and you can go back out. He runs in immediately. He's like, oh, yeah, nobody can mess with me. It's the heaviest one. I did this. Like, dude, he was flexing so hard with his new Bey Blade.
Nice.
And I keep fucking with him as I do with any kid thing. And he calls them, they're Bey Blades. So I call them wife knife. Because Bey, wife, knife. Yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah, man, you got your little wife knife? He's like, it's a Bey Blade. I'm like, it's a wife knife.
Wow. It's weird though, those things, because now that you say that, a kid had a kid down the street had a birthday party last week, and earlier this week he brought over Bey Blades to my house to play with Miles, and it's just weird because like they were a thing like 10 years ago. Like I remember like my neighbor's kid like 10 years ago had Bey Blades was all he would talk about. It's just weird. Like I didn't realize that they were
never heard of it, but it has definitely made a comeback.
I haven't heard it yet in my house, so I know it'll be there soon.
Well, as soon as soon as he does his Beyblade unboxing video on YouTube, now he's not doing that.
He should
probably.
But speaking of kid stuff, milestones. We gave Ro the phone this afternoon.
Oh no shit!
And I still feel crazy about it, but. I was really thinking more, and I'm just like,
did he cry?
No.
Did he give a speech like he won an award?
No.
I just want to thank my parents.
But it's really not. I mean, he's had an iPad for 5 years. We're not really changing a whole lot. He just has a phone number associated now. Really, is what it comes down to. But I don't know. I mean, it's cool, and I handed it to him, and I was like, this is a big jump in responsibility.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Yeah, because that's the thing. And that's what I keep telling Hayden. I said, your watch was like the first test to make sure that you would use it. It would serve the purpose it needs to serve for us, also for you. The difference is like, I don't worry about the watch, like him losing it or leaving it somewhere. He's so forgetful with things. I worry about he's going to lose this $1,000 phone somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's my big thing. We'll have to see how it goes. You'll have to let me know. I'm going to use your kid as the fucking iteration 1. Mine will be iteration 2. It's more software talk.
I see what you did there. I didn't even get there.
Version 2.
Yeah.
I didn't get there to iteration. I get it though. It's funny.
No, it's not. It's not really funny. I just, just taking more agile jabs at you, I guess. You guys want to play a quick game of Ohio, Florida?
Yes.
I'm in.
Because I actually had a couple. You know what? This one made its rounds so hard that I feel like there's no way. You guys didn't see it. Man arrested for having sex with an Olaf doll at Target.
Oh.
I didn't see that.
I'll let you guys each take a stab at it.
Ohio.
Nah, it's Florida.
It's Florida. And I
Florida's always crazy sexual stuff.
Well, dude, Florida's been on fire lately. So when I was looking at things, I was like, that's so crazy. I can't even put it on the list because I specifically look for ones that could hypothetically be either. Yeah. But one was like a guy got arrested because he was fucking with a crocodile and he was like pouring beer in its mouth and then it bit him. I'm like, okay, that's definitely Florida.
No.
Cool. The next one. Man got arrested. He thought he was stealing opioids. Turns out they were laxatives.
Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio.
Also Florida.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
This is not a hilarious story per se, and it's sad. Somebody dies.
But is it Ohio or Florida?
Yeah, but I'd like to know if you think this is Ohio or Florida. Woman, 62, killed in a porta potty explosion.
Wow. It's Ohio.
It's Ohio.
Yep.
It's actually Florida. I did three.
Damn,
I did three Floridas. Yeah, I did 3 Floridas on you motherfuckers today.
That's a shitty situation.
Oh yeah, it's a shitty situation. Porta potty explosion.
Oh.
R.I.P.
Dude, they just happen.
Yeah, some things write themselves.
No, like
dad jokes.
Yeah, it just happens.
It does.
I can't.
It's just built in.
You have a new instinct that is turned on.
It's just like, yeah, it's bad. It's real bad.
Just like the instinct of like, you know, I sleep like a fucking log. But as soon as there's like a crazy kid sound, whoop, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and it's totally true about the instinct about like a kid falling and you just like I'll be napping on the couch and I'll fucking hear something roll over and catch a kid before the kid hits the ground. I have done miraculous things since I became a dad.
Yeah.
There you go. I have done miraculous things.
Look at me.
Oh, speaking of God complexes, I listened to the new Kanye West record. So
That Jesus is
I saw
King?
that
So you
came
didn't have
out,
to. No, it's fine. Honestly.
Wait, is that what it's called? Jesus is King?
Yeah. And he was going to put out a record called Yandi,
Oh my god.
and then he found Jesus. And
So is it all religious now?
so I will say, musically, songwriting, I think it's decent. It's not nothing amazing, but it's got like half of it's like 808s kind of sounding stuff, and then the other half is like kind of classic pitched up soul sample Kanye.
yeah.
But man, it's a Christian album. I mean,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no cussing on it,
Wow.
and every song is like he's like preaching, and
Well,
it's,
he's actually preaching right now.
yeah,
No, like he legitimately is. He's doing Sunday like services.
Sunday services, yeah. And it just feels so insincere.
yeah.
Like
It
pandering.
sounds fake.
And I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt because, you know, I grew up in a tradition where you don't, you know, any Christian who takes themselves seriously and takes the Bible seriously, you don't judge somebody else's salvation. It's in the Bible. You don't do that. You're not the one in charge of saying you're saved or not. And so I have that ingrained in me that to respect people's faith, because I don't know what their faith journey looks like. But like literally like 3 hours after like the record finally came out, which it was supposed to come out at midnight, and then it was supposed to come out at 3:30 a.m.
It was supposed to come out like 3 months ago.
Well, yeah, and then Kanye tweeted that we're not going to sleep until this is done. We're fixing mixes on 2 songs, which is crazy how the music scene works now.
Right.
That you can be fixing mixes, something and releasing
Right
that
before
day,
release,
and be the
yeah.
biggest artist on the fucking planet. And
You used to have to spend hours pressing your copies of cassette singles
exactly.
at Kinko's.
But literally like 3 hours after the record came out, an interview with Zane Lowe on Beats One dropped, and in the thing he's like, I am it's clear now I'm undoubtedly like the most important and the greatest artist who has ever existed. And it's just like, dude, you're like completely shooting your whole Christian message in the foot by like just being an asshole. You're just being an asshole.
Yeah. It's all about him.
And it's crazy watching all of these like old stuffy conservative Christian men, political guys, and stuff on Twitter, like all of a sudden talk about like this is the best, Kanye's put out the best record in the world and all that. And it's just like dude,
he made some statement that said like, because everybody was asking like, okay, if you're really doing this for the church and stuff, like why are you profiting off this? And he's like, well, yeah, but if everybody else is giving 10% to the church, I'm giving 20. And so I was like, oh, come on, dude. No, he's actually gotten a lot of backlash thus far.
There's some lyrics on the record where he literally explains why he charges prices for merch and stuff like that. And I'm just like, you really feel like you got to say that? Because that makes you sound worse. It doesn't make it sound better.
I know that he was supposed to have Nicki Minaj on an album, and he made her rewrite it 3 times because I don't know if it like wasn't Christian enough or like what was happening, but I don't think that song ever made it.
Yeah.
The as far as I know, yeah, it got left off at the last minute, and I read that Nicki Minaj said that they were not seeing eye to eye.
That's probably why he had to mix those 2
But
tracks at the end.
Maybe it's because they're
like
different
one of
heights.
those was
Maybe it's because she's taller than him.
Nice.
I will say this though, you know, I listened to it all the way through loud at home, and it's not bad. And there's actually a couple songs that are like legitimately pretty great, but it's just hard to see past the insincerity of the whole thing.
I haven't listened to it, so I don't have like a hot take on it, but I also don't really like Kanye. I'm like all the way back to the fucking Spit It Through the Wire shit. I like that song, and I like some of the shit he put on after that, But for the most part, even 808s, I was just kind of like, okay, I like this, but in a certain setting. I've never
here's the deal.
jammed it in the car or anything.
I think that Kanye is best as a producer-songwriter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think the Pusha T record that came out last year,
fucking phenomenal.
that's Kanye at his greatest, what he
Didn't
was
he
made
do
to
the
do.
Tiana Taylor stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's Kanye at his greatest. Speaking of, though, one wild thing about that new Kanye record is the last full song on the album. It's the second to last track, or the last full song has clips in it, like Pusha T and his brother back together.
Oh,
and,
shit.
You know, like, you remember the song Grindin'?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, they're on it. And in the same song, Kenny G does a fucking sax solo.
Nice.
It's like a soprano sax solo.
That reminds me when I was trying to come, I was like, Kenny G? Michael Bolton? What the fuck were we talking about? It was like the end of the episode, and I was some sound.
Kenny G does a solo in a Kanye song that also features clips who haven't done anything in 10 years.
Well, I mean, that's the kind of
That's wild.
quality content you would expect from the greatest artist in the world.
That's wild.
So I have something that my wife made a statement. We were watching TV, and my wife made a statement, and it has had me fucked up ever since.
Uh-oh.
And I wonder if it's just something that I've never thought about, and that's why it has me fucked up. And I want to see what your guys think, or what you guys think about it. So we're watching one of these random fucking reality shows or something that she watches. And there was this, oh no, I know what it was. It's that new fucking Netflix Rhythm and Flow. It's like The Voice, but for rap.
Yeah.
Cool fucking show, by the way.
Yeah, I've been told to watch it.
we watched the whole thing. It was fucking fantastic. Ended amazing. Dude named D Smoke.
Don't spoil it.
No. It's been everywhere.
Spoilers.
It has been everywhere. I was only going to say a guy named D Smoke puts up a really fucking amazing performance at the end that you got to watch. So now you know he's in it till the end.
Okay.
But you
Does he win?
You will know when you see his first performance, that dude's going to be in it till the end.
Yeah,
Like he's one of the dudes that you follow the whole time just knowing he's going to put up quality shit. Anyway, one of the ladies on there, one of the female MCs, she has really long nails. And my wife goes, I just don't understand how she wipes her ass. And I was like, wait, what do you mean? She was like, there's no way her butt is clean, is what I'm saying. Because with those nails, you would like have to wrap it all around your hand and go like this. And I was like, it fucked me up. And I was like, oh my God, all these bitches walking around with their nasty long nails are all shitty as fuck. And now every time I see a woman with long nails, I'm like, you have shit under there. There's no way that you don't have shit under there.
What if they just put all four together and use it like a scoop?
Oh my God. Wait, is that what Stained was talking about when they said mud shovel?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh man.
There it is. I brought a new metal reference into
think
this
they-
episode.
in like Demolition Man, when in the future they don't have toilet paper, they just have three
shells.
shells.
No, I think they use the
Did they-
the pinchy stick.
The reach
That's
stick.
That's how
the
they-
grabber.
Yeah,
Dude.
You know?
I just imagine like they grab the toilet brush, dip it in the water a few times. I'm dying.
You know they don't have bidets.
No, but honestly, like, am I the only one that like really has it blew
I'm
my
gonna
fucking
think
mind?
that every time.
I don't want to think about it.
I see.
Yeah,
nails.
and we have a bunch of friends that are all like, ugh, cat nails. And I'm like, shitty cat nails. You got poop on those.
Shit stinks.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
Let's end with let's end on a little more serious note.
Are we ending?
Pretty soon.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
We're trying to keep these things about an hour.
I had a question too.
Don't let me. No,
Oh,
back up. What's your question?
Well, you guys are music guys, and this kind of came up, I don't know, a couple episodes ago, but so is it okay to still listen to music from a band if somebody after that music was created did something real shitty? Like you brought
As
up
I Lay Dying?
Yeah, but not them.
Okay.
So
I see what you're saying.
All right.
so Lost Prophets, they were big band for me, growing up.
I remember them.
Yeah. I like that sound. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is it okay?
that dude
but that
did-
dude did some.
He did some
Fucked
rapey
up
shit,
shit.
some child
Yeah.
rapey shit,
Like-
right?
Oh,
Baby.
he's rotting in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he'll never get out, But is it okay to still
And he's
listen
still
to that
been
music?
involved in crimes while he
Man,
was in jail too.
really?
I believe.
I don't
Okay.
know, because that puts it in the same boat as I was dying. But let
I
me tell you
know.
right now, you ain't never gonna get me to not do the dance when Remix to Ignition comes on by R. Kelly. I'm gonna hit all the
Yeah,
toot
yeah,
toots
that's
and the
what I
fucking
mean.
beep beep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my hand
You
and
know.
run it through my my proverbial fro. I'm gonna do all the moves.
So, when it comes, I see, and I think that's the failure of I think that's the failure of culture in the cancel culture movement.
Yeah.
Is that you feel like you have to ask the question, is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like, the fact that we've got to that point where we have to ask if it's okay means that we have let culture decide what we're doing. And my answer to that question is, if you feel fine about it, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like I personally have, because for instance, the Cosby Show was like my favorite show of all time.
Yeah.
But it is hard for me personally, especially with canceled music artists, is, if my listens, is he still getting a paycheck?
Yeah.
Is he still getting royalties from this?
That's
And I don't know. I think it's one of those things where it's an individual choice. It's what makes you feel. If you feel good about it, then do it. I don't like who am I to tell you what you should and shouldn't listen to?
Well, I mean, the same could be said for movies, right? Like not watching certain movies that may be cult classics or whatever. Because
think like Seven, like Kevin Spacey, Seven, Usual Suspects, American Beauty, like
yeah.
I mean,
That's true.
Dave Chappelle talks about it in his latest stand-up about like he's like basically saying like that none of you guys are ready to cancel Michael Jackson.
Do you remember, speaking of Dave Chappelle, do you remember the gender woman that he was speaking about in it?
Yeah.
Did you hear she killed herself?
Yep.
Did she really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Posted on Facebook and
She blamed Chappelle.
No. They were friends.
They had a good good relationship.
She was one that basically called him out on his shit, and they became friends.
Yeah.
And he thanked her in the credits of his latest
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
He still goes hard on transgender jokes because
yeah.
he thinks they're hilarious, and
Yes.
he's pretty good at writing them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it didn't have anything to do with him.
Yeah, her bio on like Instagram or something actually said, that one from the Chappelle stand up.
okay.
Like everything was all kosher there.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, with the music, I don't know. It's almost like you're supposed to feel guilty for.
That's
like,
true. And
you know what I mean?
I think
and
that's
watching
what
the
Colin's
movies
saying.
too. Like, I don't know, but if you still like it.
Well, the thing for me is like, with metal music or hardcore or music I was in, it's harder for me in that space because I feel like as a whole, most of the music and stuff I listened to was kind of, I don't want to call it like, it's not an exclusive thing, but it's a counterculture thing. It was a place for people to go that felt a certain way that was not normal to society, right? And if you're already in that club, don't fuck up our club.
Yeah.
That's why, like, for me, music, I take it more personally.
Yeah.
And that's just, and that's also, I'm not about to be like some super PC guy and be like talk about safe spaces and stuff like that, because I think it gets blown way out of proportion. But that's what you're describing is like, this is our thing. This is the place where we go.
Yeah.
So don't fuck with
it up.
that.
Yeah. No, and I think it's more for me, it's more for that, because at the end of the day, the people that are getting canceled, we are boycotting this art that really isn't them per se. It's the outcome that they may have had a say in, but who fucking knows what products or food or anything we consume on a daily basis that somebody in the hierarchy did something. It's out there.
That's the thing.
It's exhausting.
Like currently right now, like this week, my favorite brewery in the world, Founders Brewing, is being canceled by the beer community because they had an issue with one of their Detroit satellite breweries where there was some racist shit that happened to one of their workers. And he alleged in a court deposition, like a culture of casual racism within a lot of the parts of that company. And, and that really sucks. And Founders has handled it very badly. I mean, they're
really?
like, that's the thing. They're such a big company. They could have figured out how to not let it snowball into what it's become.
Yeah.
But they handled it very poorly, and they like a court deposition transcript leaked a couple days ago of like one of their higher ups giving testimony in court that just makes it so much worse, and all this stuff. And it's like, but then I think about it, it's like, man, like I grew up in Grand Rapids. My family still lives there. Like that is a pillar of the economy.
Mm-hmm.
If they get canceled, if people start pulling their stuff from shelves, you know, yes, that like this shit shouldn't be happening where it's happening. But like now a bunch of bartenders start losing their job, a bunch of brewers.
I feel like we need to coin another term right now, because there are people that quote unquote get canceled that come back. Can we just call that those people were paused?
Yeah.
Like people get paused, right?
Harvey Weinstein's trying to come unpaused right now.
I know.
Didn't he go to some women's?
He went to some club and got fucking cussed out by tons of women.
Good.
Oh, nice.
I thought he went to some like women's talent audition thing. I don't know.
Did you guys ever hear that Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys raped some like 90-year-old woman?
No.
This is what I mean. Like this shit's been happening, but depending on the level of your PR team and what skills they possess, you don't hear about it. The reason I mention it is because as of recently, Aaron Carter, his little brother, has been in the news a fuck ton. First of all, if you don't know this, Aaron Carter looks like a SoundCloud rapper now. And he has a huge face tattoo on the entire side of his face.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I guess the artist, who's actually a really good artist, he did a shitty job, by the way, but he's a really good artist, talked him out of getting it on his fucking face. Like dead center, he wanted it all on the fucking front of his face. And the dude was like, come on, man, let's just at least do the side of your face. So shout out to that dude. And then I also heard he fucking waxed him for like $5,000 for it or some shit. Anyway, he's been very vocal and he's been in a lot of interviews and shit lately. And he is just ragging on Nick left and right about how he used to like beat women. And he's like, I've been there firsthand and he treated me as shit. He raped this woman. And I'm like, God damn, this is a Backstreet Boy? Like, I thought that was like the fucking, he could have been an extra on Seventh Heaven. You know what I'm saying?
No, man, these guys were fucking rock stars.
Was the dad canceled?
The dad was canceled. Yeah.
The Seventh Heaven.
I'm pretty
dude?
sure he was diddling. Yeah.
Fuck, man.
No, but
he was
nothing
diddling.
is safe.
no, these guys.
Safe.
I mean, those guys were fucking rock stars, man. They had
they had
living
the rock
kids
star
starting
life.
at age 9, like and up, little girls just like going
so
crazy over them for years when they were in their early 20s.
90-year-old women too.
I know how teenage girls were when I was a teenager. And I've had quite a bit of friends that were just straight up hoe bags. Like, I won't even put any people's names out there, but just some straight up hoes that at the time that I was a teenager and these girls were 16, 17, they were fucking around with dudes that were 23, 25. It's like when that shit happens to an artist and it comes out now, it's crazy. But let me tell you, first fucking hand, these girls were going after these dudes. And it's fucked up. The dude should be saying no and fighting it back, which is the same thing the artists are, you know, going through and all that shit. But like, there's a level of ownership on both sides, but nobody gives a fuck about that other level of ownership. It's like, there's definitely, I mean, granted, it's like a 90-10 split, right? Because when you have this irrational teenage brain, you as an elder need to fucking know how to control that person. But somebody needs to fucking talk to these kids more. I'm going to talk to my kid every fucking day.
Yeah.
I'm going to be talking to my kid every day. What's up, baby? What do you want for breakfast? Don't date dicks.
Yep.
And also this, I'll buy you this new dress. Don't fuck guys at prom. Like, I'm just subliminal messages in everything. Like, I'm going to make her some fucking SpaghettiOs and I'm going to write like, don't like penises.
Yeah. If you are under 18, it is statutory rape.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm going to be that dude.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not even going to bother to go into this other one. You didn't come. Did you come with any of our normal shit? Sometimes when we have guests, you guys are like, guests show up and go, are you doing trivial things?
Trivial things? Yeah, I got some.
You got something?
Dude, all kinds of shit bugs me.
Well, then go ahead. I'm going to let you knock this out.
Man. All right. Well, one just today, fucking Hallmark is already showing Christmas movies.
Oh, yeah. They officially went into 24/7 Hallmark Channel.
Damn.
I had to watch that bullshit before I came here.
You know what? This works out for me because I don't have cable and haven't had cable for like 8 years now.
It's awful. She records all of them too. And it's like they're constantly on now. It's not even Thanksgiving.
Records them like
It's not even Halloween.
Like
with a
we
tape?
got TiVo. No.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I was gonna say
DVR.
Fuck Thanksgiving. It's not even Halloween.
I know. Yeah. Come on.
It's fucking Diwali, right? Is that today?
Is that? I don't know. What is that?
No.
Indian holiday? It's like Festival of Lights or whatever it is.
Gotcha.
All I know, the only reason I know about it is one, there's a big Indian culture where I work.
Yep.
Two, there's also a pretty big Indian culture where I live. And I started seeing Christmas lights very fucking early, super early.
Huh.
And I noticed it was a lot of the Indian families.
Huh.
And so I had to ask
the
somebody.
people behind me are Indian then, because they've had a green Christmas tree lit up in their backyard for like the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, we started all of a sudden just lights just going up all over the neighborhood, and I was like,
Or they're just psychopaths.
okay.
Yeah,
It could be. Maybe they didn't take them down.
It is, yeah. It's
Well,
weird.
I mean, it's the cool thing now to string lights across your patio and stuff.
Yeah, but those are like normal, just lights, not like
Maybe.
Christmas lights. These are bright green.
If you
They're
got-
on all night.
If you got
long.
good money.
Yeah.
If you got shitty money, maybe you got Christmas lights.
And then, all right, here's another one. Because you guys are big mobile order people.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking the Starbucks by my house, you hit mobile order, and these fuckers, they don't start making your order until you walk in. They're like,
Let me ask you a question. Is it a cold brew?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because
it's
they do that a lot for
a
cold
breakfast sandwich and a coffee.
Oh.
And they're like, what's your name? And you're like, Ben. And they're like, oh, okay, I got that order here. I'll start making it. It's like, bitch, I ordered this 10 minutes ago.
The
Where's it
plan
at?
was, the plan was I show up and it's
supposed
ready.
to be ready. Yeah, so
I feel
don't know.
that.
It's you know.
So I noticed
Hang
the
on,
Starbucks.
I made notes. Let me make sure.
Shit. The
Hang on.
Starbucks by me, a lot of times won't pour my nitro cold brew until I show up.
That's fair.
Yeah, what they do is they get a cup, they put they set the cup up there, and then when I show up, I was so confused the first day. I showed up and I was like, this is my order, but it's an empty cup. She was like, okay, let me pour that. Because it settles and all that. They're like, we pour the nitros when you get here. Fair enough. I'm into it. Do you have more?
Nah, that's basically.
Well, you said you had
Well,
notes, so I thought, shit.
The other one I had was short people, but it sounds so I'm walking into the grocery store the other day, and there's this little fella. He had to have been. I'm short. I'm short. This dude had to have been 5 foot tall, and his little legs were moving so fast. It just annoyed me. I don't know why.
He sounds adorable.
Like,
Yeah.
He was super cute, but there was like, dude, he's probably like 6'2" right next to him, and they're like walking at the same pace. They weren't with each other, but this little guy's like, nee, 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 and just, God, that's annoying. I don't know.
That is fucking hilarious. I don't think I have a trivial thing. Trivial thing for me is just I can't stand fucking being sick.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not like, I don't get man flu or whatever they call it when like I just whine about little bullshit, because I'm kind of like Colin, the fact that I very rarely get sick. There's tons of days where I have headaches and I just don't even tell anybody.
Yep.
It's just like, it's just normal for me because, you work on a computer all day and get a fucking headache.
Mm-hmm.
But I have really been put down, and you know what? I got a trivial fucking thing.
There you go.
Private daycares won't take your kid if they got the sniffles. Real daycares will take it as long as there's, I said it. They'll take it as long as there's not a fever.
Yes. That's the way the school system works.
Right.
Mhm.
Holy fuck, it has been inconvenient to have my daughter all like for a solid week,
Mm-hmm.
because for the most of the week, she's just been coughing and
Just
sniffling.
had the sniffles.
And and
Fuck
I
outta
do
here.
get it. I do get it only from the perspective of she's got babies over there.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter is obsessed with babies. And the way I get her over there in the morning, I go, come on, no, come on. Hey, stop doing that. Come on. You want to go see the babies? She goes, babies! And she runs to the front, grabs me my keys, hands me my keys, sits down, gets her shoes, goes, Dad! I'm like, holy fuck. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a cheat code to getting out of the door fast.
Babies are adorable.
Yeah, she loves
Yeah.
them. We're not
I
having
get
any
it.
more.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to
Yeah.
Derek and Megan. They're having a third.
Who?
Derek and Megan, Rainey.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they announced that. And it's
Congrats.
I actually really like that because it supports my theory. Remember I said at 3, you need a different vehicle, like shit just isn't the same. Posted a picture today of a fucking minivan and said, with the mystery kit on the way, we need a different vehicle. And I said, you see this shit?
Yep.
I was like, look, this supports exactly what I always say. You can't just have a regular car anymore. You need a fucking like a truck and a trailer or a fucking big SUV.
We're actually going to try and downgrade to a regular car.
That's because you have humans that all sit in seats now, right?
Yeah.
Like boosters, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good shit.
I have a trivial thing.
Do it.
Yeah, and I apologize in advance if you're somebody who drives one of these things.
Maybe.
But
no.
those on the way here in front of me on Indianola was a guy driving one of those not motorcycles that's got the two wheels in the front.
Oh,
yeah, those are dumb.
If you're not 55 and older, like, and you have one, fuck you.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm going to take a step farther. If you have one, if you think about getting one, doesn't matter your age, fuck you. Because you look like a fucking idiot.
Those are dumb.
You know what? Fuck it. While you were talking, I got one too.
Nice.
Motherfuckers who have those shoes that have toes.
Yeah.
Fuck those people.
I'm in.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what you're talking
Like,
about. Yes.
do not get a thing that's separate. Do not get a glove for your foot.
And here's the deal. I get it. I understand their use. Use them for going on a run.
Yeah.
Don't wear them around.
This motherfucker had some at the gym.
Yeah.
Well, that makes.
Why the fuck does that make sense? There's heavy weights everywhere.
I mean, it's the same as the tennis shoe, isn't it?
Yeah, but it specifically, not really. No, it's like, it's thinner, way thinner.
But you drop a weight, you're still going to feel it.
So I'm not as far as you, because fuck those things. They're gross.
Dude, fuck them.
I can't imagine what, like, the inside, like the kind of junk that the inside of each of those toes gets in it. So fucking gross to me. But they really only bother me when people wear them to non-athletic things.
Yeah.
Like, just.
They're supposed to help build, like, foot strength or something. But
well, I don't know. I don't know. I bought some like Merrell barefoot runners way the fuck back in the day, and they were a real shoe.
Yeah.
It's just they were super thin. There was no padding. It was just a thin piece of rubber on the bottom, and it was supposed to make you run differently. Because we've over history and getting all these fancy shoes and Nikes and air bubbles and shit like that, we've been taught to run with a long stride and heel strike, where you kind of land on your heel each time. Mm-hmm. That's not how people ran in the fight when they were running from dinosaurs.
That's the point of these. The
you
finger
compensate.
toe things.
Yeah, you compensate by running more like, I want to say flat-footed, right?
Yeah.
And you run more evenly or whatever the fuck it is, and you're not running like heel strike and fucking your shit up. I don't know.
They're gross.
They're fucking
gross.
stupid.
Fuck 'em.
They're gross.
Yeah. All right. With that, I think we're gonna wrap up episode 29.
Cool.
Fucking those toe shoes are gross.
Yeah.
Fuck toe shoes.
Fuck it.